school, something many students today take for granted, but it was not always this way.
I remember when I would try and go to school, but see a white person and think, is school worth it? Is risking my life for an education even sane? I always wanted to go to a good school, but only the white kids got to go to the nice schools.
What was it like seeing the people gather up trying to rally against you and the other 8 students from going to Central High School?
It was hard to deal with, but we were dedicated to getting a better education. We were never going to give up, although sometimes we thought about giving up. We knew we couldn't let them win, and we couldn't continue getting that horrible education that we had back home.
When Governor Fabus sent the Arkansas National Guard, what did you and the other students do?
Well, we didn't have much to do, so we just returned home and tried to study at home. Even though it was hard trying to get an education, we had the right to. We just had to keep fighting so that we could.
Governor Faubus tried his best to resist the desegregation of public schools. On September 2, 1956, he sent the National Guard to the Central High to block the African American students out.
I remember the day we just got the news. We were out doing PT when we got inside that afternoon. Our commander told us we had 2 hours to get ready and load up because we were going into Little Rock by the orders of Governor Faubus. We were so confused. We had no idea why we would be there. It just didn't make any sense. We didn't find out what we were doing until we got to Little Rock, Arkansas. When we are given the orders to stand there, at all costs, do not let any African American students into that school.
Did you agree with the governor's actions, and why?
I was not very happy with his decision to put us somewhere where we were not needed, especially on Labor Day. Governor Faubus was just a selfish, racist guy, and he was afraid to change.
Was it difficult to control the crowd?
It wasn't too bad. Some people got out of hand, and we had to use some force. Most of the crowd were angry white people, mainly students from the school and parents of the students. The crowd yelled a lot to the black student, but the black didn't yell back too much. After a while, they just walked away.
September 20, 1957, federal judge Ronald removes Arkansas National Guard from Central High School. According to Judge Ronald, Faubus was not using the National Guard to preserve law and order. In response of Judge Ronald's orders, Faubus replaced the Guard with the Little Rock Police Department. September 23, 1957, around 1,000 angry white citizens gathered outside of Central High School in order to stop the 9 students from entering. Soon after, the 9 students were removed by the police for the students' safety.
It was crazy. There were so many people. They were all yelling things like, "Go back to Africa." I was scared of one of my friends getting hurt, or worse. What was it like being in an all-white school that is being desegregated? It was strange going to school, especially with all white students. And I didn't really mind going to school with colored people. I was friends with some of the colored people in my neighborhood, although it did cause a lot of drama and danger in the school.
After President Eisenhower heard of the event, he talked to Faubus, so Eisenhower deployed federal troops to escort the 9 students to class safely. When the federal troops moved in, what was your reaction?
I was honestly happy and hopeful that all the chaos would stop and that our schools would desegregate faster.
I remember I was just back from a long deployment, and our commander ordered us to gear up and move out. He said we're not going home yet. I was confused on where we were going and why. We were geared up and ready to move out when they told us we were going to Central High School in Little Rock, Arkansas. I was honestly heartbroken about not going home to see my family, but I'm always honored to do things for my country.
What was it like escorting African Americans to class for a whole year instead of being home with your family?
It was hard enough being away from my family for so long, especially for the reason that we were. The fact that we were in our own country was a bad representation of our country, especially while in conflict with other countries at the same time. Being deployed in my own country and being away from my family was hard enough. But doing it just so that way some black students to be safe in an all-white school was ridiculous. The white students would yell things to us and other students. They would also throw things at the students, and sometimes it was us. But we couldn't do anything other than look intimidating and try to control the crowd. Although we were armed, we didn't look too intimidating.
With the integration of public schools moving forward, Governor Faubus was not very happy and did his best to try and pause the continuation of the desegregation, but it did not last too long. The desegregation of public schools and the Brown v. Board of Education has helped our generation become more racially integrated and less racist. Although the world today is still a little prejudiced, we all must be patient. Thank you for watching, and remember to never judge a book by its cover, and keep moving forward.